If you ask women if they want to be approached on the street, they will tell you no.
Because like a lot of people will like come up to me and just think that they want to talk to me and like, oh, show me where this is or something, just because like I look like I want to talk, but usually I don't want to talk.
Ask an Infinite Man student, do women like to be approached on the street? He would say, oh yeah, well most of the women I approach are super happy with me.
But you were really nice to me when you came up like, hey, how
Right, because
Just wanted to share a couple approaches I did recently, which were directly from all this work. So I was doing one of Sasha's spiritual exercises, walking on the grass without my shoes on, and then I saw this woman walk past me, really beautiful. I was just more present to social freedom and more present to the regret of if I didn't approach her. And I crossed the street barefoot and she saw me, she looked back with her mask on, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyway, but like, no, I could turn back now, but no, fuck it. And so then I just like walked up to her and told like, hey, you look nice, whatever. She's like, yeah, my boyfriend thinks I look nice too. I'm like, oh, cool, what's he like? And she's like, oh, he's good. I'm like, all right, whatever, yeah, thanks. But it's like, I did it. I still did it. I did not do it. Stuck with the fucking thoughts of what if I made the approach. Yeah, it was great. Glad I did all that shit.
good job, man. Yeah. The more that you do that, the more that you see the thing you want to do, feel the fear, and overcome the fear by taking action towards it, honestly, that's the hardest part. The more you do that, the more you get peace of mind during the approach, the more you get calmness during the approach, so you can actually play within the moment and be observant of the important things and stuff like that.
Come up with an idea too for, like, right after the last woman, I'm like, oh, I thought of more things I could say. Like, I could ask, hey, how was my approach? Or how do you feel about when guys approach you on the street? Like,
well, you don't have to reinvent the wheel here. We've got this process figured out for you, Luke. I mean, that is kind of what we do here.
We look at women as if they're the more social, but that they can only be social if they also feel safe.
Right. When I'm walking in like public situation, someone approaches me, I'm a little more put off just because I'm pretty short. And if someone's approaching me, I don't know what their intentions are.
I do have like my guard up for when guys talk to me because
Right.
they scare me.
I've had things said to me and been touched inappropriately without consent, and it's something that you have to become aware of.
A lot of guys just, they don't really understand that there's that fear because like I walk around scared all the time. Like,
If I know I'm safe, I would allow the conversation to continue.
but you were really nice to me when you came up like, hey, how are you? So like it's different of like how you approach it.
After I get over that initial thing and a conversation sparks up, if the conversation is like really genuine, I love having really good, genuine conversations with people.
Would you rather meet somebody online or in person?
In person for sure.
Now, I know don't judge a book by its cover, but if an attractive young man walks up to you on the street, like, it's flattering. And so
You hear that?
If you ask women if they want to be approached on the street, they will tell you no. Most women, I mean, all the women that I know that aren't familiar with Infinite Man, if the question was phrased as, do you like being approached on the street or would you like to be approached on the street? They're going to tell you no. They're going to say, oh, absolutely not. And the reason is, every other time they were approached on the street, it was fucking bad. It was creepy, or the guy was drunk, or he was overly forward, or it was something. I don't know many women where if I said, hey, tell me about a time that a man approached you on the street and left you feeling really good about yourself and excited to see him again. I don't know very many women that can give me that story, right? When we do things correctly, and we get a lot more of a response. So if you were to say, ask an Infinite Man student, do women like to be approached on the street? He would say, oh yeah, well, most of the women I approach are super happy with me, and they tell me to keep doing what I'm doing, and that blah, 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 blah. They're very encouraging. Right, because we approach people first and foremost looking to make sure that they're not uncomfortable around us. If a woman is uncomfortable around us, we let her go right away because there's a certain threshold. Like, remember, I'm always talking about instantaneous compatibility. If I surprise somebody and she's skittish from me, and then I say something like, hey, sorry about that, didn't mean to scare you, not a robber, not selling anything, I just came over to compliment you and see if you were friendly. If that is not enough to calm her down, she's not compatible with me. Do more approaches, and then we can worry about cleaning up the technique as you go along.
Honestly, I came out here to try and make